Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz vocalist Susie Meissner. We spoke with her on July 10th, 2020 as the COVID-19 world started ramping up. She is a jazz and swing singer that always seems to have a smile in her voice. In addition to her very appealing tone and impeccable musicianship, the enthusiasm that she displays in which she performs is infectious. She performs regularly in Philadelphia, particularly at Chris's Jazz Café, and her latest recording she has decided to feature some of Philly's best jazz musicians along with a few guests. Get to know her and dig this interview.
Hi, Joe Domino. Nice to talk with you.
Nice talking to you. How are you?
Great. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, thanks for taking a minute out. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start off here and talk about your latest CD, I Wish I Knew. It's clearly coming out during a pandemic. So I kind of want to ask you several things in regards to this.
Okay.
First of all, what is it like to release this during a pandemic where people have more time to listen to it, but you can't necessarily back it up live? And then kind of your artistic, vision for the project.
Right. That is a good question because the CD was supposed to be released a couple of months ago. And in the beginning, it looked like, I don't think we had the foresight that it would be as big as it is. And we held it back for a couple of months. And finally, you come to the realization that music is sustaining. This is what brings us life. And we're not going to stop the music. Actually, that's going to help us get through this time. And this, if anything, music should go on, should be valued by everybody, and maybe people have more time to listen to it. And also it captured a moment in time that I want other people to hopefully experience the joy of the recording, and, that might give them something to treasure the way that I treasured those few days that we had in the studio.
Talk to me a little bit about how you got this bug for music. Where were you born and raised, and kind of how did music begin?
Okay, I was born a music bug. I'm from Buffalo, and my father had a really good voice, so we had a lot of records around the house, mostly like show tunes, Perry Como, Rosemary Clooney, and my one grandfather's Irish, and he taught me Irish drinking songs, which I sang for my first grade class, and the nun had to call my house and say, no more songs about whiskey and women in first grade. So, I was kind of raised around all this music, and I remember taking a train with my family to see My Fair Lady in New York, and it was a big family trip when I was about 5. And so I know one of the songs is from My Fair Lady, and I think it has a sentimental reason for that. But always singing, knowing show tunes. I was in a dinner theater group, in my choir, in a little jazz quartet back in Buffalo, and only good memories and good things in Buffalo. I still have family there. I did have kind of a sentinel experience in Buffalo that kind of turned me towards jazz, and I saw Earl Father Hines at a piano, and I got to sit in the nave of the piano. I was by myself in downtown Buffalo, and it really turned me towards jazz. It was such an intimate experience. He was so cool. I don't know what other word to say. It really turned my heart towards jazz. And also, I also saw Kenny Burrell at a very early age, and those kind of turned me a little bit, and I started getting Ella Fitzgerald records. I think a lot of girl singers start out with Ella and go through the process, but those early sightings of Earl Father Hines and Kenny Burrell were something I remember very distinctly as turning me towards jazz. So I left Buffalo, went to New York to sing, and lived there for a while, and now I'm in New Jersey waiting for the tropical storm to hit us.
Oh, so you got a storm coming up there?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
okay.
Pitch black out here, and the winds are going, and yeah, not a day for the beach.
Yeah. I got married on the 13th of July last year, and we were going to go to New Orleans, and a hurricane hit down there, and we didn't realize it until about a week before, but we rerouted to Colorado. It worked out good. So
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh,
I understand how that works, so to speak. I mean, it doesn't happen here in the Midwest, but, we get the tornadoes and all that. But,
yeah.
So, why do you love jazz?
I love jazz because it's a palpable intimacy, different from other things where it's prescribed and you play this at this part, you play this at this part. It's actually a conversation, as you know. I think the most important thing a singer can do is listen. Listen to what people are laying down. Listen to what you might add to it, and make the conversation a real, authentic, version of what's coming out of the music that everybody's laying down there. More of a spontaneous conversation. That's how I would put it.
With this absence of live music, obviously all musicians are really missing the stage. Have there been any magical moments, any seminal times on stage that you've remembered and kind of harkened back to during this time of not being able to perform?
Well, the people that I have on the CD, I'm lucky enough to play with on a regular basis. And I think that's why we went for the CD, because a lot of these tunes, we've been playing in Philadelphia, and, it's very heartfelt and, songs that mean a lot to me and hopefully the band. And there is a song, You Go to My Head. When I heard Frank Sinatra do You Go to My Head, I had the radio on in the car. I had to pull over to the side of the road. My stomach was churning. It was absolutely churning, like, wow. I had to go home and replay it. I didn't have a copy of that. But that song, to me, just comes from such a deep place inside. And whenever we play that, and I'm lucky to work with John Swana, who's an amazing musician, and he plays that one on the Evie. That one is like always a turning point in the show. That people love that, and students of his a lot of times will come and be in the audience, and they just regard him as a magician, So, yeah, that was cool, and that's we do like to do that one when we're playing in Philadelphia.
Especially from New York, you understand the whole notion of 9/11, and with COVID-19, we all remember where we were at when this all started, early to mid-March. When did you start realizing, as gigs were canceled and things were happening, that we were getting into a complete shutdown and things were going to change?
Oh, my gosh. Well, first of all, to your point, I got married the week of 9/11. So you had the hurricane,
wow.
And I remember saying to my future husband, do you think this is going to affect our wedding? And, yeah, It did. It as we know, the world shut down. With this, I have to tell you, I'm a nurse. So, I mean, I was thinking, why don't we just lock everybody down? Why don't we be more aggressive in the beginning so that we wouldn't have repercussions later on? But I didn't imagine. We had a CD release party in the beginning of June, and Ken Peplowski was going to be there, and I'm thinking, oh, this will be done by then. But as time went on, I thought, oh, my gosh, the realization that not only wouldn't we be doing it in June, it might not happen July, and now we're looking at, will this ever happen again? I mean, that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing for people. And the guys in my band are teachers, and I know they're teaching from home, but it's really, like I said, the conversation. It's like when you get together as a musical group, what comes out of that? That's what I'm missing. I'm missing the hang, as they say, of like, showing up and people telling their stories and, playing together. I miss that, but I didn't realize back in, I'd say, March that we'd be talking about not still doing music as a group for the summer.
When we do return, what do you hope both musician and the audience realizes from this time away from live music?
I hope that we value the time together, that, things can be taken away so easily. And I just can't wait till we can get back together and share that time, because my dining room table at Thanksgiving, I always wanted to be seated with the family of musicians that I play with. I mean, I really value them as a family, and I hope that we never take for granted the times that we can get together, going forward. And I think that's what everybody's missing. It's really the time shared together that so precious, and it feels like it's hanging in the balance now.
Let's say when live music picks up, you come to Kansas City and put on a show. How would you describe a live show that you put on?
Our show is so much fun. People have to do a lot of laughing. It's what do you say, straight ahead music, and just interpreted by the people in the band, and hopefully my versions of things. You're going to have a great time, because I talk a lot about the authors of the songs and some funny lines. One of the things I know we do, If I Were a Bell, and I like to say Frank Lesser wrote that tune, and when he divorced his wife, he said she was the evil of two Lessers. And the band can be sick of my jokes, but we try to make it in the moment, things that are going on topically, and I like to highlight the band, because it's a group effort. It's never about me. It's always about what we do together as a group. But the people always say, that was so much fun. It was such a great show. It was, really, really a lot of energy. We bring a lot of energy to the night.
So everyone has a perception or a version of you, your family, your friends, your fans, that you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
I think I'm a student of jazz. I'm constantly going through CDs, different artist versions of songs that I do. Just say that we pick a tune. And by the way, our title tune was I Wish I Knew. And I heard that in the car coming back from the beach the day before we recorded, and I think it was the Blue Mitchell version of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I love that tune. It's such a great tune. We should do that. And then the day of the recording, I had told Ken Peplowski, what we're going to do. I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. I said, I heard this great song. Let's do I Wish I Knew. Take one, and that's the title track. So, I like the spontaneity. I like to be a student of jazz, to listen, and hopefully people think that I'm a nice person, and that I give everybody an equal chance at the forefront in our band.
Susie, thank you for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz. Good luck with, you got a pandemic and a hurricane. You got a lot going on, so stay safe.
And I have a dog that rules my life, who's sitting right outside the door, that says, let's make it all about her. So.
That's the way they work. That's how they roll. I got 4 of them at home, so I know all about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got all kinds of heartbeats in the house, so yeah. We definitely know about it.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest singers in Philadelphia, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Susie for her time, music, and class. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to theneonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
To me, it happened to me.
Neon Jazz.